Happy Tuesday. Oh, no, Wednesday. Sorry, y'all. About to say it again. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Sorry. I was up getting a lot of stuff done, kind of a little bit all over the place trying to bring things together today. I didn't realize we was going to start at 6:30 until I got finished working on what I needed to do this morning and realized I was already behind time. So sorry for my tardiness, but we did start on our late time today at 6:30. All right, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. It is June the 21st, 2023, day 61 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets, and of the 5-year consecutive day count. It is day 1440. Today we're picking back up in chapter 7 of the Holy God Spell, and we begin on page 378 with verse 209. So, Father, we thank you that you see from all angles and within and outside of all realms. Let's see who here already today. Y'all bright and early. Avia, greetings, sis. Tikva, hey, girl. Hey, mom. Shalom. Shayla, hey, cousin. Shalom, shalom. Nazarene sing. Grand Rising, family lamb, and light family lamb. He said, Dawn, good day, sis. Happy summer solstice, family. You're right here. You got in my book, Summer Begins. Easy. Shalom, shalom. TNC time. What's that? TNC time. I don't know. I'm a little slow. Help sister out. Derek, shalom, shalom. Elijah, peace and light. Eternal learner. Blessings of the day, everyone. Fritz, shalom, fam. Tabitha, hey girl, hey, shalom to the EOA family. And everybody else here hanging out in the background. Top of the day to you. Let's get started, y'all. All right. So we'll see if we get done with the rest of this chapter today. And we begin with the story of the 3 wise Magi. Oh, TNC time. Tea and cannabis. Okay. Got it. Thank you. Okay. Water. Hold on. All right, y'all. Let's get started. The story of the 3 wise Magi, or Magi, however you want to pronounce it, is page 378, verse 209. Behold, when Yeshua was born in Bethlehem, 3 wise Magi from Persia came to worship him. And after Magi is reference number 4. Number 4 at the bottom says, Magi is the plural form of magus, which is related to the word magic and is the equivalent of the Nazarene Hebrew word for wizard, Yedoni. Literally, a Yedoni is a knowing one, and it is in this wizardly sense that these 3 Magi are called wise. From the New Testament, we know these 3 dudes as the 3 wise men that came to visit the baby Christ at the manger. Jasmine, shalom, shalom. Is that a real lily behind me? If y'all have been here for my husband's stories of my plant shenanigans, and if you go back watching how long this particular beautiful peace lily has been behind me, remember, peace lilies are the mascot of this home. Remember the name for this home? Remember the whole shenanigans with all the homes we went to go see? But we named this the Peace House. I love peace lilies. So this is our official plant mascot of this home. And to answer your question, Tikva, no. It is a very real looking, but yet artificial peace lily. I must admit, I have killed at least 4 since we've been here. Not on purpose, right? I'm getting better with my green thumb, and I don't do it on purpose. So I did have one, though. Lasted us almost this whole year, right? But you know, they're kind of like drama queens, drama kings, whatever, but they don't like it too hot, they don't like it too cold, they don't like too much sun. They like indirect sun because they grow on the floor of the rainforest, right? So they're shaded by the trees, get the rain. And so yeah, look, she look real good, don't she? So I figured I keep her there. Now once I will replace her. I will replace her in some time to come once I learn how to completely keep them alive for at least a year, right? And I be getting the biggest, prettiest ones, and you know they're expensive. And so my husband said, if you buy one more expensive piece of lily and put it in this house that you killed, he said, we're gonna have a problem. He said, girl, if you don't know how to take care of these things better than that. I was like, I'm trying. One time though, Isaiah, my aunt, I'm not sure if she's here. Isaiah, and this when I realized like the true power of words and speaking to plants. You know, Isaiah, you know, little light-skinned boy, y'all see floating around through here sometime, right? I told you he liked to fight everybody. I mean, he's the sweetest child, don't get me wrong, but that's everybody know Isaiah, boom, boy come out the womb fighting. But he's the sweetest child, seriously. One day he went over there to that plant, and it was from this day that these two particular beautiful peace lilies began to go downhill. Isaiah, he got mad with his brothers about not getting on the game or something, and he was stomping through the house. And we got him like, boy, you better quit stomping through our house. And so he was a little mad about that. And you know what he did? He went to my peace lily, and I was in the kitchen, and I saw him. I thought he was just standing there, right? Just standing there, maybe rubbing the leaf. But she had the, you know how to get the white blooms and everything. He took one of them white blooms, and because I didn't understand why he was standing there so long, but he was fuming at the mouth, but he was standing right there by the peace lily plant. And why he was mad at his brothers and mad because he didn't get his will, whatever, he had his hand on one of the white beautiful blooms, and he was squeezing it real tight, right? And then he ripped one of the leaves off of it and like ripped it up. Right from that day, that peace lily went down here so fast that it will blow your mind. And not only that, her sister, who I had sitting right beside her, I think she felt the energy that her sister was dying, and they both died within a little bit over a week's time. And I'm like, this, first of all, it's amazing. I was like, but this is crazy. They were completely thriving until that incident. And I'm like, listen, Isaiah, and I think I told y'all about this before. I said, how would you like it if somebody came up to you and just ripped off one of your fingers? He said, oh, why would they do that? You can go to jail for that. That's child abuse. I said, well, don't think of the plants any less. I said, they are living organisms. I said, what you just did, I said, and the anger, I'm not sure what you said. I said, I don't even know if he was paying attention to what happened to that plant. I said, but did you realize after you did that, that plant began to die extremely fast? He said, in his little face, nope. I said, well, it did, because I was paying attention to her. I said, and her sister died along with her. I said, that is beyond me. I said, but nothing was happening to them until you did that. I'm not saying you caused it, but I'm just saying, it doesn't seem just like a coincidence to me. He was like, I'm sorry, Mom. I said, sorry ain't gonna bring my plants back. You need to go give me 2 more peace lilies. Taking it out your allowance. You know. But yeah, it's crazy. I was thinking you was thinking I was gonna need a bigger pot. I ain't got to repot her. All right, y'all. Enough of those shenanigans. Legacy Impact Coaching. Dana, hey girl, hey. 50% off at Lowe's. Sometimes I know I be hitting them up the plant section and Home Depot because they sometimes a lot cheaper than the nursery. But all right, y'all, let me get back to this. Drace and Righteous, Shalom. Kings and Queens Coaching Group, Shalom. BC, what's going on? Brandon Clark. In the Aquarian Gospel, the Magi is mentioned a great bit. Okay, I haven't gotten to that one yet, but I'm going to check it out. All right, y'all, let's get back to this. Okay, I'm going to just start over because we was only at the second verse. Well, the first verse, I'm sorry. All right, we're on page 378. We're in chapter 7 of the Holy Gospel, verse 209, the story of the 3 wise Magi. Did I finish reading that? I didn't even finish reading the footnote. Let me start over and I'll read the footnote again. Behold, when Yeshua was born in Bethlehem, 3 wise magi from Persia came to worship him. And a footnote down at the bottom after magi, number 4 says, magi is the plural form of magus, which is related to the word magic and is the equivalent of the Nazarene Hebrew word for wizard, Yadoni. Literally, a Yadoni is a knowing one, and it is in this wizardly sense that these 3 magi are called wise. Although these particular magi operated within Zoroastrianism, it is important to note that not all Zoroastrians were magi, quite the reverse. The magi were an esoteric minority within Zoroastrianism, often persecuted and condemned by the majority. All right, back up, verse 210. They were star watchers, master astrologers of the Zoroastrians, and they had seen the messianic star and knew that the Messiah was born. For lo, though they were Zoroastrian, they were also white wizards and studied all religions in pursuit of wisdom. 7 years before the holy birth, they had obtained a copy of the Holy Megillah, having befriended David of Alexandria when he traveled in their land. Having studied the Megillah, they came to believe that the Nazarene religion is the most ancient and pure path of light. In a dream, they were told to journey to the land of the Jews, which was occupied by the Roman army, and to watch for a certain star. That star would be the Messianic star of 6 points. Yea, and they were to follow that star to the holy babe. And they had purified themselves for the journey, eating no flesh since their meeting with David. And now they had come to Jerusalem to search for the holy babe. Lo, one night in Jerusalem, an unusual star appeared in the distance. Behold, the star was of 6 points, and at the center of the star was a red cross. It was much larger than any other star, being the size of 3 stars, wherefore the cross could be seen. And the giant star seemed nearer than the other stars. Awake and outdoors that night were guards of Herod keeping watch. The 3 wise men approached the guard, saying, behold, that giant star with the cross. It is the Messianic star. Beneath that star, the Messiah is born. He is the true king of this world. Lo, we 3 have come from Persia to worship him. Tell us what town lies beneath that giant star, for we must go there. But behold, none of the 3 guards could see a star. One guard replied, the town where you point is Bethlehem, which is not far. But lo, I see no giant star. Another of the 3 guards thought the 3 Persians to be crazy. But the chief of the guards thought the 3 Persians were mocking him, since there was no giant star where they pointed. This guard said, you will spend the night in custody, for you are either drunk or are mocking us. And so the 3 wise magi spent the remainder of that night in custody. The next day, Herod came to question them, for he had been told that the 3 travelers spoke of the birth of a great king in Bethlehem, a messianic king. Lo, this was enough to rouse the interest of Herod, since he must put down any competing claims to kingly rule in his land. For he served the occupying army of Rome, and they had executed other false messiahs and claimants to the throne. For lo, there was much messianic fervor in the land, and the Aaronite Jews hoped that the messianic king would lead a rebellion against the occupying army of Rome. Remember, the Aaronite Jews is Israel. For behold, the messianic prophecies of the Aaronite scriptures, or the Torah, proclaimed the coming of a very different sort of Messiah than that proclaimed by the Holy Megillah. Yea, the Aaronites looked for a Messiah of great military might, who would destroy non-Aaronites by sword and make Jerusalem the capital of the world. It's the same thing today. They following the same exact thing today, and not even realize that they have been duped. But they're going to argue with you to the death. They're going to argue with you to the death. Yea, the Aaronites looked for a Messiah of great military might, who would destroy non-Aaronites by sword and make Jerusalem the capital of the world. And several messianic pretenders had arisen and been put to death by Herod in Rome, but not before causing trouble. Wherefore Herod had the 3 Persians brought to him and questioned them. They told him, we have come to worship the Messiah, who is king of the all. who is king of the all. We think he was born last night in Bethlehem. When King Herod heard these words, he was troubled. Wherefore he sent the 3 wise ones back to their cell and asked the most scholarly of his priests, where should the Messiah be born? Where should the Messiah be born according to the scriptures? They told him, in Bethlehem, for it is written, in Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, you are not small among the princes of Judea. For out of you shall come forth a ruler, and he shall rule my people, Yisrael. And Yisrael is Y-I. Remember, Y-I is those in wrong relationship with Elohim. Y-E, Yisrael, those in right relationship with Elohim, which that group who were in right relationship with Elohim inside of Israel as a whole were the prophets, right? They were constantly telling them hard heads, turn back to the ways of true creator, but they wanted to do their own thing. And they literally took over everything and flooded the scriptures with lies to do what they wanted to do. And they murdered and slaughtered the prophets. Verse 249, they told him, in Bethlehem, for it is written, in Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, you are not small among the princes of Judea, for out of you shall come forth a ruler, and he shall rule my people, Israel. But these Persians search for a Nazarene Messiah and say he is a spiritual king, not a claimant to your throne. On many points, the Nazarene scriptures differ from ours, which is why we have made them illegal to possess. On many points, the Nazarene scriptures differ from ours, which is why we have made them illegal to possess. Herod replied, I do not believe in messiahs one way or another, but if enough people believe a man to be a messiah, that can create a public disturbance. And if it gets out of hand, it can subvert the established order, even topple a king. It is best to nip such movements in the bud. Then Herod met again with the Magi, telling them, go and search for the child. When you have found him, tell me his exact location. For behold, I desire to come and worship him. But the Magi perceived that Herod was scheming. Lo, the Magi left for Jerusalem, and behold, they saw the Messianic star appear over Bethlehem, even though it was daytime. And they followed the star, for they knew that it would lead them to the holy babe. But behold, as they went on their way, with their camels and donkeys loaded with supplies, they were so intent on the heavens that they did not notice the suffering of their weary beasts. Yea, they neglected to water or rest them, though it was very hot and the beasts were thirsty and suffering. Then behold, the Messianic star was hidden from their sight. Yea, in vain they searched the heavens, unable to find the star, and they were deeply troubled. Then they remembered their camels and donkeys, how thirsty the poor beasts must be, and hurried to undo their burdens and give them a drink. Lo, by the road as well, surrounded by, Lo, by the well, Lo, by the road was a well surrounded by 7 palms. And as the Magi stooped down to draw water for their beasts, behold, the star they had lost appeared to them, reflected in the still water. When they saw it, they felt great joy. And they gave thanks to the Creator who had shown mercy to them, even as they had shown mercy to their beasts. Then they followed the Messianic star to where it hovered directly over the grotto of the holy babe. For this star moved not like any other star, being in fact a cherub from the 7th heaven. When they entered the grotto, they saw the baby in the arms of his mother, Mary. When the 3 Magi fell down and worshiped the holy babe, tears of joy streaming from their eyes. Behold, the 3 holy wizards presented the baby with gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. The first Magus spoke, saying, my gift is gold. Behold, gold is the symbol of the true treasure, the true crown that is, I am. Neither male nor female, but the source and crown of both is Yah, the primal being that is both true center and true circumference of all beings. The second Magus was a strong and mighty man, skilled in the martial arts. He spoke with a voice like unto the flame of justice, saying, my gift is frankincense. Behold, frankincense ears of the male spin, spin. Behold, frankincense, ears of the male spin. It is the symbol of God, the divine, masculine, immanent, the sacred fire, the transcendental sun, Jade. Yea, it is a symbol of this holy babe. Burn it to illuminate truth. Then the third Magi, a woman, came forth with a gift. With voice sweet and soft, the wizardess said, my gift is myrrh, symbol of the transcendental moon, the feminine light of receptivity that is fertility indeed. Myrrh is the symbol of the divine feminine immanent, the Lady Christ. For this year will see the birth not only of the Lord Christ, but also his eternal wife, Jannah. Let this myrrh be a reminder of she who will walk by his side. Moved by the spirit of their giving, Mary said, I am moved to give a gift. Lo, I have little in worldly wealth, the more so because we are on the road. Yet I feel called to give you a memento of the visit. Mary took one of the swaddling bands of hemp that was wrapped around the holy babe and gave it unto the Magi. Behold, the holy Magi received the swaddling band with great reverence, as though it were more precious than gold. After paying homage to the holy babe, the Magi prepared to depart without sending word to Herod, for they inwardly perceived that Herod was not to be trusted. They warned Joseph and Mary of Herod's request and of their suspicion of Herod. They advised the Holy Family to flee as soon as possible. Then the Magi departed for their homeland. Upon the return of the three Magi to their homeland of Persia, their brethren greeted them with great affection, for lo, they had been away many months. That night, according to the ways of the Zoroastrians, they lit a ceremonial fire and celebrated. To those Magi amongst their brethren with ears to hear, the three Magi told the story of their journey. They showed these ones the swaddling band from the holy babe, and they placed the memento on the altar near the fire. But later that night came one Magi who did not have ears to hear. When the latecomer, who was blind in one eye, asked why there was a swaddling band on the altar, the three Magi told their story. The latecomer mocked them and then threw the swaddling band in the fire to burn. Well, we'd been fighting. Though, behold, though the swaddling band lay in the fire, it did not burn. Okay. Yea, no part of it was the least singed. The Magi fished the swaddling band from the fire. They danced around it and took turns touching and kissing it. One declared, this proves the holiness of the babe, that even his swaddling band is graced by his power. Meanwhile, the latecomer who had mocked repented, crying tears of true remorse. One of the Magi handed the repentant mocker the swaddling band that he might touch it. The repentant man used the swaddling band to wipe the tears from his eyes, and behold, his blind eye was healed. All of the Magi gave thanks and praise unto the holy babe. Meanwhile, back in Bethlehem, after the three Magi had departed the holy grotto, behold, two more wise ones arrived at the grotto, a Buddhist sage and a Hindu yogi. Yea, they had come to worship the holy babe. But like the Persian Magi, they had dreamed of the holy babe and were guided to the grotto. Each declared this baby to be the fulfillment of the hopes and prophecies of their own religion. Other sages of other religions arrived that day and made similar declarations, and all agreed that for the safety of the baby, they must keep silent on these mysteries. That night, David of Alexandria was warned in a dream that Herod would send soldiers to kill the holy babe, even as the Magi had warned. David told Joseph and Mary the dream and advised them to bring the holy babe first to Mount Carmel, then to the Nazarene settlement in Alexandria, Egypt. Then David sent a messenger to warn all parents of children under 2 years of age to flee Bethlehem for a time. For behold, in his dream, he had seen that Herod would order the killing of all children in Bethlehem under 2 years of age. For by killing all the children under age 2, Herod would be certain he killed the holy babe. David provided all the families who would flee with gold for their journey. Most heeded his warning and fled, but a few mocked. Then Herod, as David warned in his dream, ordered that all children in Bethlehem under the age of 2 should be slaughtered. But lo, most of the families with young children had fled. Herod's soldiers, seeing that most families with children under 2 had fled, reported this news to Herod. Behold, Herod withdrew the order. He said, "Wait a month, and many of these will return. Then we will kill all the infants." Joseph and Mary with David, the Yair, remember Yair is a high priest, Yaira is high priestess. Joseph and Mary, with David the Yair, Joseph the shepherd, and the holy babe, began their journey north to Mount Carmel, to the home of Joseph and Mary. For from their home near Mount Carmel, they could gather needful things and consult with the elders. From Mount Carmel, they would take journey west to the Mediterranean Sea and take a ship south to Alexandria. Behold, the journey of Joseph and Mary and their holy babe later came to be called the journey of the miracles of the holy babe. Lo, this journey from Bethlehem to Carmel to the Mediterranean is also known as the journey that saved the infants of Bethlehem. For behold, by leaving a notable trail of miracles that Herod would notice, the holy babe did save the infants of Bethlehem. For with Herod convinced that he had a trail to follow, he had no reason to follow through with his plan to kill the infants of Bethlehem after a month. And when that trail led Herod's soldiers to the port near Mount Carmel, where the ship carrying the Holy Family had departed, Herod declared, "I have chased them from my lands, and that is good. And I will send spies to Egypt." And the account of the journey of the miracles of the Holy Babe, which saved the infants of Bethlehem, is as follows. Where we at? 30 minutes? Okay, I'm going to keep reading. It's going into the next section. Abba girl, shalom, shalom. I just read your comment, Tabitha. Thanks to Owaspi, the star they saw was a heavenly ship. I agree with that. Matter of fact, it mentioned it wasn't a star. They were guiding them. I'm just reading over the comments real quick. Prince, shalom, fam. Brian, Joe, shalom, shalom. Zoroastrians predate Abrahamic faith. They do. Thank you, Brian Jogi. He's really the Yog is very well informed on a lot of these things. Okay, I was just looking up real quick. All right, y'all. Okay. Verse 346, page 382, and the account of the journey of the miracles of the Holy Babe, which saved the infants of Bethlehem, is as follows. On the outskirts of Bethlehem was a young woman possessed by demons. Lo, she caused so much trouble that the people, fearing her, tried to keep her in bondage with leather thongs and ropes. But the woman could not be kept in bondage, for she broke the thongs and ropes. And this was possible because the demons gave her the strength of many men. The people gave up trying to tie her, for they feared her. The only words from the mouth of this woman were foul curses and evil pronouncements. And she gave her body to every willing man, though most feared to come near her. Everybody in the town know that this woman is demon possessed, but you still got them ninjas. Oh, for real? Nah, she ain't got no demon in her. Well, let me go test and see. And she gave her body to every willing man, though most feared to come near her. Yea, and she ate raw flesh and drank a vast amount of strong drink. Her story, how she became possessed by demons, is as follows. Listen, and if y'all missed this, y'all need to get this book. We read it already. Go back, you should find all the videos in the playlist. Matter of fact, we're going to see what they say about this, because we know how people become demon possessed now, right? And we can track it back and we can help them get free. Field Guide to the Spirit World by Susan B. Martinez, The Science of Angel Power, Discarnate Entities, and Demonic Possession. I don't get paid for recommending any of this stuff, just to let you know. But along our journey of growth and understanding, I share all things freely with those who will listen. Okay. Verse 355, we're on page 382. Her story, how she had become possessed by demons, is as follows. Lo, she had become possessed 2 years before when she hired a man to poison her rival. Yea, she had paid a man who practiced black magic to poison a woman who was her rival for the love of a man. For behold, both women hope to marry. Behold, both women hope to marry the same man. The dark magician had agreed, but demanded a price, saying, "If I poison your rival, you must pay whatever price I ask." The woman replied, "I have little money." The magician said, "My price will not be money, and it will be within your means to pay." Happy that the price would not be money, the woman had agreed. I'm like, well, tell me, like, give me the full details of this. Let me think about it. The woman replied, "I have little money." The magician said, "My price will not be money, and it will be within your means to pay." Happy that the price will not be money, the woman had agreed. And when the magician poisoned the woman's rival, the woman exulted. For though the rival was not dead, she was in a coma, a sleep from which none could wake her, and thus was not fit for marriage. And then the magician declared his price, saying, "You must let two of my see this that crap I'm talking about right here. Listen." Then the magician declared his price, saying, "You must let two of my disembodied servants share your body, for behold, they desire the things of the flesh, but have not bodies." The woman was reluctant, but agreed. Matter of fact, this goes into deep detail about this. And remember all my shenaniganizing stories about somebody putting you in a sunken place and driving your vehicle around and catching all these tickets. But when it's time for you to pay the piper, they hop out. All right, homie, you got a wheel back out, right? And now you sitting in the courtroom in handcuffs. Yeah, that's me on the camera. Yeah, I got on the same, but that wasn't me. That wasn't me. I wasn't there. I promise you. And nobody believes you, right? Because you're playing around with fire. Verse 366, I'm gonna go back up a little bit. No, 365. And then the magician declared his price, saying, "You must let two of my disembodied servants share your body. For behold, they desire the things of the flesh, but have not bodies." The woman was reluctant, but agreed. But the man she hoped to win as husband thought he didn't know. Hold on. But the woman was reluctant, but agreed. But the man she hoped to win as husband, though he did not know that she had hired a man to poison his beloved, sensed darkness in her and desired not her hand in marriage. Yea, he declared that should his beloved never awaken, he would never marry. Wow. And from that time on, the demonically possessed woman wore no clothes and offered herself to any and all men, yea, and drank strong drink and ate raw flesh, for these were the desires of the demons within her. Like, how could you even get that close to even think about banging her out? First of all, she run around here naked all the time, right? When was the last time she had a shower? You can't smell her breath. Not only her breath, but those who eat meat and raw meat at that, like, they reek, they stink. Like, what's wrong with you that you would get close to someone like that just to fulfill your section? You know what? I got it. You demon possessed too. I'm out. Bye. Right? I don't know that I could perform that exorcism. All right, move back. Verse 368. Yea, he declared that should his beloved never awaken, he would never marry. And from that time on, the demonically possessed woman wore no clothes and offered herself to any and all men, yea, and drank strong drink and ate raw flesh, for these were the desires of the two demons within her. Quick reminder, what are demons? Demons are nothing more than once humans who are now passed on into the eternal realm, spiritual realm. They've been fully born spirit, but their grade and their rate of spirituality was so low that they're lingering here. Some of them are trapped, not so much trapped, but they're here for a while until they're delivered of their nature and they're healed and restored. So most of the time, those ones are the ones wreaking havoc. Christians, some other religions call them demons. other names for demons or whatever, but they are people. Verse 370. Now, on the day that the Holy Family with David and Joseph left Bethlehem and passed the place where the woman lived, the woman stood naked by the road, screaming at them. She approached Mary with a stick as if to hit her. For lo, the light around the holy babe was so bright it hurt her eyes. But when the woman looked into the eyes of the holy babe, she went into a trance. Yea, she looked within and saw the demons and desired that they should no longer be within her. And she saw the evil deeds that the demons did through her. And she saw her own evil deeds and how by hiring the magician to poison her rival, she had cast herself into hell. Yea, she saw all these things as she gazed into the eyes of the holy babe. But behold, one thing she expected to see in the eyes of the holy babe, she did not: condemnation. Instead of condemnation, she saw compassion. She heard a voice within her soul, which she knew was the voice of the spirit of the baby. And that voice said, "Come to me, you who are burdened by guilt. Repent. Feel now true contrition. For lo, the kingdom of heaven, even now in your hell, is at hand. Take my yoke, and I will give you peace." And the woman felt true contrition for her sins. She said aloud for all to hear, "I this day repent of my sins." And then the woman fell at the feet of Mary and said, "I am in the hell of self-loathing, for behold, my sins are vast. Yea, in my jealousy and scheming, I hired a man to poison a rival. She has been in a deep sleep for 2 years, and none can wake her. And I have willingly let demons reside within me, that they may enjoy the things of the flesh. I regret all these things." Then David the Yair, looking into the eyes of the holy babe, knew what he must do. He took the woman to a pool of water and performed the ritual exorcism and a good bath. Like, sis, for 2 years you walk around here stank, and you a woman, and that down there probably need to be, it should be washed a couple times a day. I'm just saying, especially if you've been out working, running. I'm just saying, regular women, at least twice a day. Shower before you go out the house and shower when you get back in the house, or right before you go to bed. At least twice. That's a requirement. At least, at the very least, twice for all women. 2 years you've been walking around here, ain't sent a drop of water. And you got all manner of men, those that aren't afraid, run up it. We're going to give her a bath first before we baptize her. Verse 393. Then David the Yair, looking into the eyes of the holy babe, knew what he must do. He took the woman to a pool of water and performed the ritual of exorcism. Then he instructed her in the Nazarene way and warned her to eat no flesh, saying, "The demons have fled, but if you eat flesh, they may return. For by eating flesh, you weaken the Magan or Hor, the shield of light that surrounds your body." Not just raw flesh, y'all, but any type of flesh that you consume. I don't care that Big Mama can fry up a good piece of chicken, right? I don't care that the Torah says that this fish is clean to eat. It's still flesh. Do a test. That's why it's been almost 12 years since I have put flesh between my lips, right? Wait, who called her a dirty possum? Yo, look. Yo said, "Out here smelling like a dirty possum." Easy said, "Not a dirty possum." Oh, she needs some CLP. Look, what's CLP? Muskrat booty. What's CLP, Shogun? Goodness, she needs some CLP. I don't know what that is. What is that? What's CLP? Let me finish, y'all, because we almost out of time. All right, look, I'm gonna leave it up for a second. Let me get back to this. Hold on. I'm gonna look back up. Hold on. Oh, look. Right. A stinky link. Because she wasn't sneaking around with nobody. Oh, Lord, she in the vicinity. She ain't nobody sneaky. Everybody smelled that stank cleaning lubricant protection. We use it to clean the rifles in the military. She need a flamethrower. We sorry, just me. He said, yeah, I gotta stop. Y'all about to make me crash. Please drive safe, just me. Okay, let me get back to this. All right, shoot. Let's go back up to when David. We about to take this heifer to this pool of water down here. Listen, verse 393. We know what you meant. We know what you meant, just me. Look, okay. We're on page 383, y'all. Verse 393. Then David the Yair, looking into the eyes of the holy babe, knew what he must do. He took the woman to a pool of water and performed the ritual of exorcism. Then he instructed her in the Nazarene way and warned her to eat no flesh, saying, the demons have fled, but if you eat flesh, they may return. For by eating flesh, you weaken the Magen Ahor, the shield of light that surrounds your body. A matter of fact, when Waspi goes into deep detail on this. This also, Holy Megillah also goes into deep detail on this all the way at the beginning when we first started and what flesh does to the body, not just the physical body, but the spirit. It really focuses on what it does to the spiritual body of a person. For by eating flesh, you weaken the Magen Ahor, the shield of light. And it's not just filthy flesh, but also the clean meats as well, which the Aaronic priests have changed, right? And say, don't eat this, don't eat the pig, all this, but you can eat this. They've adjusted the original scriptures. There was supposed to be no consumption of animals at all to satisfy your needs, right? Even though the body can break it down for a certain period of time. But as the body breaks that down, the physical body also breaks down along with it. It'll be more years. It takes more years for it to happen to some people than it does for others. But it does start throwing the body out of whack, right? For by eating flesh, you weaken the Magen Ahor. M-A-G-N, second word, H-A-A-U-R, the Magen Ahor, which is the shield of light that surrounds your body, or people call it your aura. You know, some people call it the egg around you. It's a few different names for it. Verse 397, then lo, David told her where to go to find the Nazarene teacher who lived in the hills near her village, so that she may learn the Essene way of life. The woman went and pitched a tent near the cave of the Nazarene teacher. For 7 years, she studied the way with this teacher. Then, behold, she returned to her old village and ministered to the needs of orphans and the infirm. And after some years, she married a man who loved her dearly, for behold, he was attracted to the light within her eyes. I wonder if she told the story about her earlier days in life. I don't know. That might drive some people off, but that don't drive others off. They can see the real change in you and your spirit. I can tell you were not that person. Matter of fact, I don't even believe that you did some of the stuff you told me about, right? And after some years, she married a man who loved her dearly, for behold, he was attracted to the light within her eyes. Listen, if Skunk Booty got a man who loved her dearly, so can you, no matter what is going on in your life, right? Just let the love and light of the Creator clean you up. Maybe that was a little too far, but it's still the truth. And after some years, she married a man who loved her dearly, for behold, he was attracted to the light within her eyes. Now behold, at the time when the woman was still possessed by demons and looked into the eyes of the holy babe and publicly repented, the people of the village were amazed. An old man said, The face of this baby shines with a healing light. By looking in his eyes, this woman was healed. And in the crowd was a man who loved the woman who had been poisoned by the evil magician. He looked into the eyes of the holy babe and uttered a prayer. Yea, he prayed that his beloved would wake from her long sleep. And then he went to the hut where his beloved slept, and behold, she was awake from her long coma. She said that a baby came to her in a dream and smiled, and she was healed. Then the man spread the story all around the village. The Holy Family continued in their journey toward Mount Carmel, and the stories about the holy babe spread, even reaching the ears of Herod. Behold, not long after leaving the village, the Holy Family found a hungry family beside the side of the road. The hungry family had lost their home in a fire. They sat beneath a withered fig tree that no longer gave fruit. The homeless family was a husband and wife with 3 children. The man said, "Do you have food to share?" Then the holy babe reached out and touched the withered fig tree, and it was transformed. Behold, the fig tree was now youthful and laden with ripe fruit. That's interesting from the story we get from the New Testament where he spoke, "You ain't got no fruit on you, die," right? And it withered, right? That's the exact opposite of what we hear here. Behold, the fig tree was now youthful and laden with ripe fruit. The hungry family gave thanks and ate. Then they carried a basket of figs back to where the woman's mother, a crippled widow, waited by their burnt down home. But now, behold, the house was as if the fire had not happened. And the crippled widow, who had not stood up in a year, was jumping up and down, rejoicing. For lo, the holy babe had come to her in a vision and smiled. Then behold, the house was restored. Yea, many such miracles occurred on the road from Bethlehem to Mount Carmel, wherefore a trail had been left for Herod to follow, wherefore he had no reason to kill the infants of Bethlehem. At Mount Carmel, the Holy Family and companions met with elders, yea, and visited friends and family. Then lo, they left by ship for Alexandria, Egypt. And that is actually the end of this chapter. And we have 51 minutes, but we're going to go ahead and end it before we start this next chapter. Chapter 8, y'all. Because I know I definitely wouldn't be able to finish that. So we're just going to finish a little bit early. And actually, really, we kind of like right on time if I had started at 6:15, but we started at 6:30. But this next chapter is extremely long. Oh, Lord. Hold on. This is the longest chapter yet. Chapter 8 is entitled The Birth and Childhood of the Lady Christ. Jannah comes as Miriam. This is 830 verses. So it's definitely going to be a couple days going through this. So we may take like 3 days. Because when we got 400, it might be 4 days. Because a couple of these chapters we had to break into 2 days, and they were about 400 verses. So if we got double that, it's going to be double the days. And it might be more than that if it's something that make me laugh in here and I got a crazy story for it. But hey, if y'all got the time, hang out. All right, y'all, that's it for today. I think you know what? My words of adoration. It's going to pertain to to this woman today, but not so much about that, but I'm thankful that there's people. Matter of fact, Father, let me just do this first before I give my quick recap of the day. Father, we thank you that you have created people who don't really care about the stench of others, the stench that they've created throughout their life, whether it's a physical stench or a spiritual stench. We thank you for the fortification, the compassion that you endow and develop in certain type of people where they look over those things. And these are the people who can go to people who are maybe down in their luck in the street or something. They'll go out there, hand them meals, pray with them and stuff. Like, those people are priceless. They really are to me. I do from time to time, but sometimes I'm like, Pam, you need to get better. You really need to get better. So I really thank the Father for people like that, men and women who can stand in those places, because we need people like that, right? Shucks, we should definitely, just like I like the scripture in the Bible where it talks about what's it? And is it in Corinthians? I think it's in Corinthians. Just me, let me know. It's in, I believe it's in Corinthians, where it's talking about I'm just kind of summing it up, where the body, you know, you got different parts of the body, many members or whatever. There are certain parts of the body, even though they perform some of the, we can call it the nastiest deeds that the body has to process through, right? Like the urination and the defecation, right? We have body parts that were created just for that, right? And they should be honored and covered with the most respect, because if we didn't have them, the entire body would implode. It would become toxic. The blood would become toxic and we would die, right? So we have need for those body parts and those members in the bigger whole of the body, right? Otherwise, we would implode on ourselves on many different levels, right? So it has to be those people. So I'm grateful to the Father for people like that. And we all perform those functions, some more extensive than others. You know, like on a lighter scale, it can be like a parent or a caretaker that's caring maybe for a baby, or maybe somebody elderly, or somebody who's lost the capacity to care for themselves, and they go do those things that's needful for the body so that they don't, you know, get infected, disease, itchy, all that stuff, right? So there's multiple levels where that can happen, and not just physically, but also spiritually. So I'm grateful for all the different levels where they operate in all the realms, physically, spiritually, mentally. That happens on every level, not just also here in this realm, but also in the world, which we will be a part of in many days to come, when we're fully born spirit, right? So even though the lesson was kind of fun talking about skunk booty today, I'm grateful for people like David the Yair, and those who can look past all of that and help people get free, right? I love them. All right, y'all. It is Wednesday, June the 21st, 2023, day 61 of year 5 of reading through books, laws, and prophets. Today we finished up chapter 7 in the Holy Megillah, also entitled The Secret Nazarite Scroll. The chapter of number 7 was called The Birth of the Lord Christ. Jade comes as Yeshua, also including the story of the 7 shepherds, which we read yesterday, and today the story of the 3 wise Magi. So that actually began at page 371, but we started with the second story of the 3 wise men on page 378 and went all the way to page 384. All right, y'all. And that was 429 verses, right? So when we start them all, like I said, it's either going to be it's going to be at least 4 days that we're going to be going through chapter 8. All right. So I'm thankful for y'all hanging out, joining in with today's shenanigans. Y'all keep me hyped. And we're right at the 57-minute mark. I love y'all. Make sure y'all, what was I about to say? Oh, make sure y'all remember, I mentioned it yesterday, the Sabbath has changed. We'll be here Saturday, but Sunday we won't, because we're observing the moon cycle on Sundays now. But also I was looking for, hold on, let me scroll back through, see if she came in. Audrey, you here? She posted something yesterday. We was kind of talking back and forth yesterday through the text. She posted she posted in the private group the picture of the sky that she had took with the sun and another element in the sky that she said she was almost certain of that it wasn't the moon, right? But through my studies and actual observation, and she also had a picture of the moon that she took. Hold on, let me see. I'm just scrolling back through a picture of the moon, but I noticed the times in the sky where she took the pictures. And I asked her, was the picture of the sliver of the moon what day was this? What time was this? Because that looks like a different time in the sky from the two elements that we saw earlier. So I'm still scrolling, looking to see if she's here. Uncle JB, shalom, shalom. She waited on the Lord. Y'all are funny. No, I don't think she's here. She might come in late. Sometimes she do. She'll come in later. Denise, shalom, sis. But the pictures that she posted, if you go to if you're part of the private group, right, go there. We start 6:15 ish. We start between 6:15 and 6:30. Sometimes I have to push it out to 6:30, depending on what I got going on here in the morning. But the start time, the official start time, Denise, is 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm not sure if you're on the East Coast, but wherever you at, the East Coast is 6:15. Some people coming in from California and they're here like 4 a.m. Those the real MVPs, right? You know, but whatever time your time is, when it's 6:15 a.m. Eastern Time here, that's what time we start. So the picture she posted, go back and look. And I'd like some insight from y'all, but from what I've personally studied and observed, the picture that she took, when she took the picture, clearly you could see the sun, but it was really clouded, you know, but there's another object in the sky, same size. You can tell it wasn't the sun, but it wasn't as bright. And she got some really good pictures. She posted 2 of them in there. And then she also has the picture of the sliver of the moon. She said she knew it wasn't the moon because she had seen the moon in the sky. But as I talked to her, she said that the picture of the moon was actually, in fact, from the night before towards the evening, you know, because you could tell the difference in the sky. So, but what I've noticed and what I've observed over these last few years of really going out there, studying the sun, going through the book of Enoch, you know, and charting and stuff, at the beginning, because we're at the beginning of the new moon cycle, the moon rises just about the same time and set with the sun every day. Now, the first few days, it's almost, well, you will see the sliver of the sun, but you won't really see that sliver of the light in the moon until it gets later towards the evening, or when or if the sun gets a little close and you can kind of really see it in there, but as it gets closer, it kind of like clouds it all out, right? But you got to actually go out there and do it to see what I'm talking about. Hey, babe. So, but what I surmised from it was that was in fact the moon, right? Because the time of those pictures, the brighter pictures. Hey, babe. Fine, babe. Scooping ice. But the time with the sun, it was almost 5 o'clock, right? So it's still pretty bright out in the sky and everything. So, like I said, from my observance, that is the moon, because we're at the beginning moon cycle and they go together throughout the sky. As the days progress on, they get further and further apart, right? And the moon begins to rise later and later. So watch it over the next couple months and watch, you're going to be able to see that same thing. And if you look, even when we have the new moon, when it doesn't have the light in the disc yet, if you go out there and look, if it's a really good day, you want to start up, you coming back in? Yeah. Okay. If it's a really good day, you will be able to see the disc of the moon without any light in it in the sky. But it has to be like a really good clear day where you can catch that. I have a few pictures where I've caught that. So from my observation, looking at her pictures, what she shared, the times of the day, the different things, I'm still of the belief that that is in fact the moon, right? I could be wrong, but just from my studies over the last few years, actually out there doing it, observing it, tracking it, doing video. Y'all seen some of my older videos, we out chasing the moon and stuff. But from my understanding, and I see it a lot, it used to freak me out when I didn't understand. I was like, yo, that's definitely the moon, right? And then when it gets a sliver of light, as the sun goes down and the sun, the sun goes down past the horizon before the moon does, you can see that sliver of light in the moon for about 3 to 4 hours before it goes completely down, right? So that's just my study observation of it. So that's why I was wondering if she was here. I'm not sure if she came in yet. Yeah, Dana said, I saw the pics, nice capture. It's just like you can see the moon in broad daylight around day 14. Right, you absolutely can. You just got to take some time and observe it. Really pay attention to the sky. Jot some stuff down, right? It's faint almost to see through, and it gets brighter as it gets later, right? I've caught the big day moon the past few, right? So, but I just kind of wanted to physically say that with other people that saw that post or whatever and look, but that's just from my observation. Like I said, it could be wrong. I think somebody put in there, is it Nibiru? I kind of chuckled a little bit, but everybody's trying to figure it out. But from my personal observations, actually being out there tracking, doing all of that, I believe it was the moon. So, but if y'all have any other insights and you're in a private group, I'd love to hear it. Put it in there. All right, y'all. But that's it for today. I'm out of here. I love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out. And I'll see y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bruce.
But I see through you.
I'm from outer space. I got Milky Way for blood, evolution in my veins. I'm gold. I've been far away. I'm illuminated now.
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea. With a little honey.
What just happened?
For a moment, you entered the astral dimension.
What?
A place where the soul exists apart from the body.
Why are you doing this to me?
To show you just how much you don't know. Open your eye.
Been dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they wore the coastline.
What's happening? This isn't real, this isn't real, this isn't real, this is...
Dreaming about flying for a long time. I had a vision from the birds, they wore the coastline.
His heart rate is getting dangerously high.
He looks all right to me. You think that this material universe is all there is?
I don't need gravity, I need
What mysteries lie beyond the reach of your senses? Existence, mind and matter meet. Force, shape, reality.
I don't need gravity, I just need growth. I'm a fine line, yeah, I'm a misleading of this illusion. I am not really here, I'm an intrusion. I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Some benevolent and life-giving, filled with malice and hunger. Dark places where powers older than pride and waiting.
I don't swim or sink, I just float.
Who are you in this vast multiverse?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth. I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
I don't need gravity, I just need growth.
Teach me.
No.
It's an earthquake rumble. I won't ever ever fall, never stumble. And I don't need to be humble. Break down walls like Jericho crumble.